Hi guys, welcome to your essential practice, Namaste. Our focus with this practice is standing poses. We're going to learn 4 standing poses. And the most important thing to really learn today is our foundations. Same way as the architecture of the building is designing strong foundations for the building to be steady and supported, the same way in our body we want to learn how to position our feet in standing poses, for example, to generate a greater support and stability, to practice our yoga in a safe way. The first principle of alignment we want to learn is feet parallel. What exactly I mean when I say feet parallel? If you draw a line between your second toe, the base of your second toe, and center of your ankle, those two lines should be parallel. So in a way you feel like you're slightly turning your feet in. You could imagine you are standing on sort of a train track, mini train track, and trying to practice being in a parallel alignment here. Very often, unconsciously, we sort of stand like this, or we walk without paying attention how we actually place our feet. And the way we place our feet have a direct impact on our knees. Very often you can hear people having knee problems, especially with runners. If you don't pay attention how you place your foot, that will affect your knee directly. Then your hip is also affected, and then up to your shoulders. The whole architecture of the body will benefit if you commit yourself to this choice, feet parallel. So again, you have to change the pattern. Whatever you've been doing through the whole of your life, you need to introduce a new pattern and practice it consciously again and again. So let's work on that for a moment. But before we go into that, I just want to point 4 important parts of your foot here. So you have a mound of your big toe, you have a mound here of your pinky baby toe, your inner heel and outer heel. So those 4 corners of your foot are very important. You want to distribute the weight of your body evenly on the inner and outer edge of your foot. Again, standing feet hip width apart, feet parallel, and just feel. Are you collapsing your arches here? Maybe there's more weight on the inside. Often, because of the weakness here of the muscles, inner muscle of your legs, we sort of collapse in. Or maybe you do the opposite. There's too much weight on the outer edges of your feet. Find the even distribution of the weight in and out. Spread your toes. Beautiful. Now we're going to go into our first standing pose. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. So bring your big toes touching, inner heels touching, and standing here in this position, which is your mountain position, with your big toes touching, inner heels, inner knees touching, thighs touching. Spread your toes wide apart, shoulders back, legs are straight. Firm the muscles of your thighs, pull your kneecaps up and lengthen your tailbone. Lift your pubic bone and open your collarbones. Bring your palms in front of your heart, open your elbows wide apart, and step your feet wide apart. Step your feet as wide as you can. Extend your arms straight. Wide stance, pose. Now look down into your feet and make sure your feet are again parallel. So correct any misalignments here and try to distribute the weight evenly on the inner and outer edge of your foot. Standing straight arms, straight legs, lift your spine. Keep your arms straight. Let's start with right foot. Turn your right foot in and now turn your left leg out. So you pivot, top of your heel, and turn the whole leg out. Your front foot is pointing the short edge of your mat. Look into your knee and make sure your knee also is turning in direction of your foot. The last thing to do is to bend your front knee. Warrior 2. Warrior 2 position. We're looking to get this 90-degree angle between your shin and your thigh bone. Back leg is straight. Take 3 breaths. Breathe deeply. Gazing forward into the mid-front fingertip. Shoulders are relaxed. The head is turning in direction of your hand. Bend your knee a little bit more. And then come back. Straighten your front leg. Turn your left foot in, back to neutral position. Keep your arms, building a bit of strength in your upper body. And turn your left foot slightly in and pivot on top of your right heel. Lift your toes and turn your whole right leg out, all the way to the right. Front leg is straight and bend your front knee. Bend your front knee. Lengthen, deepen your breath. Arms are straight. Again, aiming for the 90-degree angle. Back leg is straight. Remember to lean slightly further back. So common misalignment would be to go too far forward because of the tightness here in the hip. Trying to reach towards the back of your mat. One more breath, bend your knee. And then straighten your front leg, come back, feet parallel. Bring your palms in front of your heart again. And heel toe your feet in, back to your Tadasana, mountain pose. Great, now let's look into this common misalignments and how can we deepen this pose a little bit more. The first thing that we want to focus on how the knee is positioned. So very often what happens in the Warrior 2 that front knee is collapsing in. So again, is due to the weakness here and tightness of the muscle, weakness and tightness of the muscle. Also weakness at the back here into the glute doesn't working 100%, so we want to strengthen that glute. Again, look from the second side, you will see I'm applying here my right glute, tuck it under. What it does to my thigh bone is turning my knee out, external rotation, we call it in anatomy. Bend your front knee, so your knee is pointing your baby toe more. You can also use your hand, position your hand outside of your knee. It looks like this from the front. I'm placing my hand outside of my knee, and instead of collapsing my knee in, that's the common misalignment here. This might eventually really affect our ligament here on the inside of the knee. We don't want that. We want this position, so keep your hand outside of your knee and press your knee into your hand. Lengthening here and strengthening using your glute to strengthen. Bend your knee more and commit to that clear alignment of your knee. Now, to deepen this position, we can take a chair, second side, and position your thigh on top of the chair. So take time to sit comfortably. So the chair will give you a great support. Now your front foot, again, look into your front foot. Make sure your knee is above your ankle and your back leg is straight. Now, again, depends on your body, how flexible you are. That back hip wants to come forward. So very easy because of the tightness here in the front hip flexors, that back leg would pull forward. What we want that hip to go back. So your upper body is more rotating to the side instead of rotating to the front. So there's a side rotation in the upper body. Taking that outer right hip back. Now I can use my right hand to press on top of my thigh bone, and I'm going to press my thigh bone into my hand, trying to take that hip away all the way, opening my pelvis more. So there's a hip stretch. Warrior 2 is quite a deep. And then your left thigh can rest on top of the chair, deep and stretch in your hip. Make sure again your front knee doesn't go in, stays above your ankle, and extend your arms straight. Warrior 2. Breathe deeply, resist again, taking your thigh out. And again, you can do the second side as well. Position your right thigh on top. See how different it feels on this side. Look into your front foot, knee is above your ankle. Take your knee more towards your fourth, fifth toe and straighten your back leg. Back knee is straight, press into the outer edge of your left heel and take your left outer hip back. And again, place your left hand on your outer thigh bone and push your thigh bone into your hand. Hand into your thigh bone to lift that outer top hip away so you feel more open to the side. Arms straight. Spinal rotation to the side. And gazing forward, breathe. Keep on straightening your back leg and bending your front knee deeply. Good. And release. Let's go further. 2 more poses. Come back to feet parallel. Hands on your hips. Bring your palms in front of your heart again. From Tadasana, we're going to step again, wide stance position. Extend your arms straight. Turn your back foot in slightly and turn your front leg out. Bend your front knee back to warrior 2 position. Great. So now, right hand will go on my hip. I'm going to grab one of my blocks and position the block inside of my ankle. So a couple of stages in side angle position, Parshvakonasana. Bend your front knee deeply. Sweep your top arm next to your cheek. So again, top arm is straight, back leg is straight, bend your front knee more. That might be enough. Side angle pose. Or rest your hand on top of your block. A little bit deeper. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Now press your upper arm bone into your knee to open your knee more out. You're opening the hip more. Now if that feels easy, you can go to the next stage, medium height of the block. or even further, lowest height of the block. Straight line from my fingertips, top arm, all the way down to my back heel. Also, the spine here is rotating to the right. Spinal rotation. Bend your front knee more. And come back. Take a block with you, second side. Get yourself ready. And first thing, to turn your second leg out. Make sure your knee is pointing your foot, arms out. And then bend your knee. Start with elbow resting on top of your knee and your left hand on your hip. And check how is this on this side. Bend your knee more. Extend your arm next to your cheek. Maybe go deeper, resting your hand on your block. Bend your knee more. Maybe a little bit deeper. Great. Come up to standing, arms out, neutral position, heel toe, back to Tadasana. Close your eyes. Next pose, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Bring your palms in front of your heart. And step your feet wide apart. Step your feet wide apart, feet parallel. Extend your arms out. Good. Again, turn your right foot slightly in and turn your left leg out. All the way out. Good. So here, all you're doing is extending lateral bending all the way to the side. Reach, 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 reach forward. You can use your block. Instead of resting your hand on your shin, you can position the top hand for a moment on your hip. So instead of using your hand on your shin, you can use your block. Now, if block fit doesn't feel great because of the hamstring tightness, you might need to grab a chair and rest your hand on your chair. Go a little bit wider. Straighten both legs. Both legs are straight. Open your right arm up. That's your triangle. The more flexible you are, the more you can lower your block halfway down. In this position, both legs are straight. Pull your kneecaps up. Press down through your back heel. And work on turning your spine all the way to the right. Your belly turns towards the ceiling. Rotation from your bottom lungs all the way to your upper lungs. And look down. Come back to standing. Turn your feet again parallel. Place your block again back in the first position. Second side, arms extended, legs straight. Turn your left foot in and pivot on top of your right heel. Turn your right leg out. Front leg is straight. And again, hinge from your right hip forward, 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 forward. Go as far as you can. Left hand on your hip. Grab your block. Trikonasana, triangle. Breathe, turn your belly to the side. Back leg is straight. Front leg is straight. Breathe deeply. Extend your top arm straight. The head position, you can gaze forward. More advanced to look up if you have this cervical spine flexibility. Breathe deeply. Look down. Come up to standing. Zigzag your feet towards each other and back to Tadasana. Our next pose is tree position, Vrksasana. We're going to use the wall. It's the balancing pose, so we need some support. Stand next to the wall. You can rest your right hand on top of the wall and your right foot will be the weight-bearing foot. Before you come up, make sure your right foot is again neutral. The weight is distributed evenly on the inner and the outer edge of your foot. Then bend your left knee. Bend your left knee and catch your left shin with your left hand. That's the starting position. You're going to open your hip all the way out to the side and grab your ankle with your hand. Position your foot, the sole of your left foot inside of your right thigh, pressing your foot into your thigh, thigh into your foot. So you're building that resistance there. The more you press your foot, the more stable you become. Now, knee is in a deep flexion. So depending how flexible your knees are, your quads, the higher the better, but you might have to compromise that to make sure your foot is never on top of your knee joint, maybe modify to your shin. We don't want to place any weight on our knees, so maybe you can go up here, that's ideal. Now, what happens with that knee? The knee wants to come forward, same way in the Warrior 2, that inner collapsing. So the goal here is to take the knee all the way pointing side. You can use your hand, position your hand outside of your knee and press your knee into your hand into your knee and let your knee win. So you feel it into your outer glute here, that external rotation opening your hip joint, and that's your tree position. Now if you feel more sort of confident in this balancing pose, you can extend your arms all the way, tree pose, Vrksasana. Shoulders are down, lengthen your tailbone and lift your pubic bone. Gazing softly on the spot in front of you. And then release. Let's do second side. You can again repeat it at the wall. Big toes touching, inner heels touching, hands on your hips. First thing, left foot is your weight-bearing foot. Shift your weight to your left foot and bend your right knee. Bend your right knee, catch your shin. Your left hand is on your left hip. That's how you practice your balance. Gazing somewhere on the point, on the floor, on the wall in front of you. Open your hip. Open your hip. Breathe. Deepen your breath. Catch your ankle and place your foot inside of your thigh. Press your foot into your thigh, thigh into your foot, and find balance. A tricky balancing. Embrace the wobbliness. The body will pull you into different directions, taking it out of balance. That's okay, practicing your center. We're looking for the support and stability in your standing leg. Open your, again, knee out more, placing your hand outside of your knee. Press your knee into your hand, opening your hip. Arms are straight, tree pose. looking for that support, stability, learning how to be more stable on our mats as well as in our lives. Great, and release. Please grab your chair. I'm going to finish with Pranayama, breath practice. The first class we learned full yogic breath. We'll come back to that same breathing pattern, dividing that breath into 3 sections. But we're going to take time in between. We're going to add a breath retention. First, place your hands on your lower abdomen. Inhale. 1, 2 to your belly. Now holding briefly. Then hands on your ribs. Inhale. 3 and 4. Holding. And hands on top of your chest. 5 and 6. And exhale in one go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. Let's do it together. You can use your hands. You can rest your hands on top of your knees. Close your eyes. Inhale to your belly. 1, 2. Pause. 3 and 4. Pause. 5 and 6. Pause. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 1, 2. Pause. 3, 4. Pause. 5, 6. Hold your breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue. 3 more rounds. Your breath is spacious. Come in to your belly first. Lungs, upper chest. Leaving your body through your nostrils. Coming in through your nostrils. Your lips are gently sealed. Gently open your eyes. Now we're going to reverse that breathing pattern. It's going to be one long, deep inhalation, and when you exhale, we're going to divide our exhalation into those 3 separate parts. Inhale into your belly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 6, 5. Pause. 4, 3. Pause. 2, 1. Pause. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale. 6, 5. Pause. 4, 3. Pause. 2, 1. Pause. A few more rounds on your own. And bring your palms to your heart. Come back to natural breath. Closing with gratitude. Grateful for that support and stability we practice on our mats. We can find our anchor in the midst of challenge when things are shaky. Our vulnerable moments, we find our center, grounded, so we can be that very anchor for ourselves, as well as for people close to us. Namaste.